Hello everyone, welcome to the Northshorist Real Estate Group Marketing Report. This is a special report on the National Mortgage Settlement. So what was the National Mortgage Settlement? It's an agreement between the government and 5 of the largest banks. They are putting up $25 billion to help those people who were foreclosed on and those people who are in the process behind on their loans or would like to refinance. It also gave these banks some additional rules that they had to follow in order to foreclose properly. It included no robo-signing, no tool track foreclosure, along at the same time that they are trying to do loan modifications. So the reason that we had to have this mortgage service settlement is because there was a lot of shadow inventory coming on the market. And what do we mean by shadow inventory? The shadow inventory are houses that are 90 days delinquent on their mortgage, houses that are currently in the foreclosure process, or houses that are owned by banks, but they have not been put on the market for sale yet. If we look at the shadow inventory by state, you'll notice that Massachusetts has 5 to 9 months of shadow inventory that will be coming on the books. So how does the process work? When someone is 90 days delinquent, the foreclosure process begins. Or it could also be a short sale process, which is better for the banks as well as the seller. And then either the short sale takes place or the foreclosure takes place, and that property comes back on the market if it is a foreclosure. You'll notice from the fourth quarter of 2009 until the third quarter of 2010, there were quite a few completed foreclosures, and then at that end of that third quarter, the number of completed foreclosures dropped drastically. That's because the banks were now caught doing fraudulent practices such as robo-signing. So if you look at this graph, you can see the foreclosures that are currently in process have increased steadily since 2009. You'll see the highest number the third quarter of 2011. So these foreclosures that are in process are that shadow inventory that will be coming on the market. A normal market is 5 to 6 months of housing inventory, but because the court imposed this dam, kept the banks from doing the foreclosures, there was a buildup of this shadow inventory. This is another explanation. You can see the way there is a valve, and the red valve is when the banks actually just closed off, kept all the inventory for those people who are behind on their mortgages. And now, because we have this settlement, that red valve is going to open up and that shadow inventory is going to come pouring onto the market. How will this impact our prices? Well, like everything, supply and demand. So if there is a big supply of shadow inventory coming onto the market and not a huge increase in demand, that will impact prices negatively. According to Moody's Analytics, this latest settlement could drive the prices down another 3%. What impact will it have on our market here on the North Shore? Well, I think one of the important things to understand is that there was a very slow timeline going on for the process of foreclosures before we had this settlement. And you'll have people talk about that they've been in their houses for a year or 2 years, not paying the mortgage, and their foreclosure never came to fruition. But now that we have this settlement, you will notice that in Massachusetts, what was taking between 400 and 600 days for the foreclosure process will now be sped up and can be 90 to 120 days. So homeowners need to understand that process now. In Massachusetts, we are not one of the states that is above the national average, but we have 1.8% of the current mortgages in Massachusetts are in the foreclosure process. That's the shadow inventory that will be coming on the market. So what should you do if you're selling a house? One, if you're selling in this market, your price really must be compelling because there aren't going to be as many buyers, so you want them to purchase your property. If you're a buyer right now, it's a great time to buy. Interest rates are extremely low and prices are also low. And if you are one of those unfortunate people who is upside down on their mortgage and maybe behind on payments or think they will become behind on payments in the near future, please call us. We are certified distressed property experts. We can help you through the process and at least give you information so that you can make some informed decision in what direction to go.